Stay tuned for the recipe. Hello and welcome to this amazing YouTube channel, The Bakery at K, where we give you tips, tricks, hacks and DIYs. My name is Esther Masharia and I'm a bakery at eBakers Creations. You can find us on Instagram and on Facebook. I'm a baker by training, passion and practice. So most of what you're going to see on this channel, a big chunk of it is baking related, but I'm also going to give you some other tips here and there around the household. So today we are going to do something a little bit interesting. I'm sure you've heard about a carrot cake, but ours today will have a little twist. We're going to add some raisins, some nuts and some other things, so stay tuned for the whole process. So welcome to this episode. We're going to be covering a carrot cake, and our carrot cake is going to have raisins and some mixed nuts as well. I'm sure if you've tried a carrot cake before, it goes perfectly well with cream cheese. In fact, the ideal way of having a carrot cake, a very good carrot cake, is to have it with cream cheese. But that doesn't mean that you're restricted to that. You can do a carrot cake with whipping cream, buttercream, fondant icing, unless you really particularly need a certain design. But I would say a carrot cake is to be enjoyed, not just to show it on an event. It's to be enjoyed as a dessert for an occasion. So I'm going to take you through the whole process, but first, most importantly, always when you're baking, first things to do are these three things. First thing is to weigh out all your ingredients. Weigh out all your ingredients, because I'm telling you, you do not want to forget a single item. After spending so much time and so many ingredients, then you find that, oh, it's a carrot cake, but I actually forgot the carrots. Oh yeah, I know it sounds funny, but you can actually forget the carrots. Or you forget the raisin agents. That means you're going to have a very funny looking and tasting cake, so you can't even eat it, basically. So first thing is to weigh out all the ingredients. It gives you an easy time to work. So you're done in a few minutes because you've already weighed out everything. And then the next thing is to make sure that you prepare your baking tin. Your baking tin can be prepared in two ways. You can either use margarine, oil or butter to grease the tin, and then you dust some flour. Put just the same flour that you're going to use to bake. Put some flour inside, shake it a little bit, and then pour back the flour in maybe the mix. You can even use this same flour. And then the third thing is to prepare your oven. Whether you're using, the mavetatu, make sure your charcoal is ready. Or if you're using the stones, your stones are already hot. You've already placed it on the burner that you're going to use. If it's a jiko, whatever you're going to use, make sure it's ready. But we're going to get that topic of using a charcoal to bake. For today, we're using an oven. Now, your oven, you need to preheat it. Most cakes are baked at 180 degrees. So today's cake, we're also going to bake at 180 degrees. So we're going to preheat our oven at 180 degrees just for about 5 to 10 minutes. By the time you're done mixing this, our oven will be ready for baking. So without further ado, let's go to our ingredients. Now, there are two ways of weighing your ingredients. You can either use a weighing scale. Weighing scales are now available in most supermarkets. So just walk into a supermarket near you, look for the most affordable weighing scale. You don't really need to use an industrial weighing scale. These weighing scales nowadays go for about $6 or so, or $10. That is 600 Kenyan shillings or 1,000 shillings, between that range. We also have measuring cups and measuring spoons. They also go for the set goes for about maybe 300 shillings to 500 shillings. That's about $30 to $50. $3 to $5. So it's something that is now very affordable now that everybody is more or less baking at home. So I would advise you that you get any of this, because that's what I'm going to use mostly in the recipes that I'm going to be giving, because I want you to be able to bake at home without necessarily using very complex recipes. So go get your cups. You may even get both, because sometimes some recipes that I give, for more accuracy, you may need a weighing scale. So if you can afford it, get both. If not, get the cups, because that's what I'm going to use as a standard for most of the recipes. So if you're going to be following my recipes, try and get this. So I'm going to take you through my ingredients. It's a carrot cake, so you need carrots. I already grated my carrots. I think most of us know how a grater looks like. So I've grated carrots. Don't grate them too small, because they're going to make your cake feel like it's a bit too compact. So we're going to use grated carrots. We've used the medium size, not too big, not too small. So I've used 1.5 cups, and when I talk about cups, I'm referring to this. So I've used 1.5 cups of grated carrots. I weighed after grating them. So 1.5 cups, and then I'm going to need 0.5 cup of sugar. And then you'll need 1.5 cups, that is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can also use wholemeal flour if you feel like it's going to work for you better. Actually, it's really amazing for carrot cake. And for the sugar as well, if you don't like white sugar, in fact the ideal is actually brown sugar, but because I want to show you an easy way and very affordable way of making this carrot cake, I'm going to tell you even that you can use the granulated white sugar that is found in the supermarket, or what you have at home for making tea. But if you can get brown sugar, it works even better. So 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour or wholemeal flour. We are going to use 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. We are going to use 1 teaspoon of mixed spices. We are also going to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda or bicarbonate of soda. We are going to use half a cup of oil. It's already measured. By oil, I mean vegetable oil. I would not encourage you to use olive oil, because olive oil is not supposed to be subjected to very high heat. You're also going to have 3 medium-sized eggs. We're going to use them not in this state, of course you're going to break them, but I would advise you to look for the medium-sized eggs, because if you use too small, you might not get or achieve the result you are looking for. A medium-sized egg, if you want to weigh, is usually about 50 grams. That's the average. So if you're able to get that, well and good. And then in our carrot cake today, we're going to use some raisins. Raisins are also available in most supermarkets. You'll find them in the baking section. And we're going to use some mixed nuts. You'll see how it's, try this at home and you'll tell me how good this is, because I always like to use raisins and nuts. And if you can, add a 1/4 cup of pureed pineapple. Pureed pineapple you can add. You can even put some small chunks, not too big, because if you use too big, they're going to make your cake sink. So you can puree, you can remove the excess water. We don't want too much water in your cake because you already have enough liquid and you have the carrots. But I can tell you the result is amazing. Come back and thank me later. So without further ado, we are going to start our procedure, and the first thing is to break our eggs. So I'm going to pour, sorry, my eggs are moving a lot. First I'm going to put our carrots there. This is what I'm going to use for my eggs. I'm sure you don't want to wash as many dishes, just like I don't. So I always encourage that you break 1 egg at a time, because that ensures that you don't mix your eggs with a spoiled one, because you may break 10 good ones and the 11th one is actually rotten. And I'm sure we all know how bad a rotten egg can be. So just break 1 at a time and add to the carrots like that. So you're just going to add it to the carrot like that. and then add in your sugar as well. So you've added the carrots, the eggs, and the sugar. And then just mix them. Try to mix as much as you can. You can use a wooden spoon, you don't have to use a spatula. You can just use a wooden spoon. So I'm mixing that much because I'm trying to dissolve the sugar. So until at least you don't feel the big granules, the sugar granules. Then now you add the vegetable oil. The brand doesn't matter, provided it's a good quality vegetable oil. So just basically you're mixing first the wet ingredients like that, and then now we are going to go to the dry ingredients. I always advise that please sift your flour. You can do it 2-3 times. I always do it even before I get to this point. I always do it twice, but then I'm still going to do it again because this time round I'm going to mix the ingredients, all the dry ingredients, and I want everything to pass through the sieve. Also, it helps to remove any foreign object that I might have entered your flour, maybe during the processing or maybe during the exposure of the ingredients. Just make sure you pass it through the sieve. It helps a lot. Also, it helps in aeration as well as mixing the ingredients properly. So we're going to pour our flour through the sieve, then add the cinnamon, add the mixed spices, add the baking powder and the baking soda. So just shake it a little bit, it will mix as it goes through the sieve. So as you can see, I have too much extra big particles. So I'm not going to add that into my mixture. So now I'm going to fold in. I'm going to fold in my cake slowly. And allow me to mention that you don't exactly need a flavor for this flavoring essence for a carrot cake. You can add vanilla, maybe to mask the smell of eggs, but it's not a must. You actually won't smell the eggs, but it's not a must. The spices we've added really do a very good job. They make a very big difference. So just fold in gently. Please don't be tempted to use a mixer when doing this because your cake is going to be over mixed and it's going to get a bit dense. So don't be tempted to use a mixer. It's a simple procedure and you're done in just a few minutes. As you can see, I made sure that my carrots are very visible because I noticed if you use very small, very tiny grated carrots, the cake tends to be dense, and I really want to cut into my cake and see the carrots. I don't want to see a muddy thing. I want to see the carrots in my cake. For those who understand or who like carrot cakes, you understand that you really want to see, you don't want to just be told that your cake has carrots. You actually want to see them in your cake. So last but not least, I'm going to add the raisins. Now, if you're going to add lots of raisins, I would suggest that you coat them with flour, just a little flour. But if you're not going to use a lot, because the reason why I'm advising you to coat them, because they'll sink if you use too much. So if you're just going to use a little, you don't really have to coat them. It's not very necessary. So you just throw in some, and we'll use some also even on top for garnishing. And then you throw in your nuts as well. If you're not using too many also, they won't sink. So this is going to be a very yummy carrot cake. Try it, and you can just send us photos of what you've baked to our Instagram page at eBakers Creations, or through our Facebook page, E-Bakers in capital letters. So that's our mixture. I don't want to overmix because I don't want my cake to get dense. So we are now going to pour this into the baking tin, the prepared baking tins. Like that. We can tap a little bit. It helps to remove any excess air, and also to level your cake a bit, to make sure that it's well distributed. And then we're going to put this in the oven to bake for about 45 minutes at 180 degrees, and then I'll see you after the 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, we'll check if it's done. Then we'll use a toothpick. We'll insert a toothpick in the middle of the cake. If it comes out dry, then we know that our cake is done. So our carrot cake is ready. You've already cooled it for about 25 minutes, and then we removed it from the baking tins. Please don't remove immediately. When you remove it from the oven, don't remove it from the tin immediately, because sometimes it can break. It's still hot, and it's not like really you're going to eat it as hot. So just give it about 20-25 minutes to cool, and then you transfer it to either a rack or a plate like this. So you're going to dig in, and let's see. We don't have the cream cheese here, but I can tell you it works perfectly. It goes perfectly with cream cheese. So you're going to cut this and see what we've got here. I'm going to show you the inside. Now, this is what I meant when I said you want to see the carrots. You see the carrots. If you grate them too finely, you won't see these carrots here, and then your cake becomes very dense. So you want to see the carrots when you cut like this. So we are going to indulge. I'm sure you can even see the raisins, they're popping out. They didn't sink. If you put too many, they're going to sink. So what I would advise is you coat them. So that's my slice, and wow. I can actually taste the carrot. I can taste the raisins, and it's a very yummy balance between the sugar and the carrots. Wow. So now all I need is to get my glass of warm milk, sit and enjoy. And because I know you want to join me, why not do yours like this? Bake your carrot cake, share the results with us on our social media platforms, and then you sit and enjoy with your glass of coffee, your glass of milk, or your cup of coffee or tea, or even fresh juice. Any nice beverage will work perfectly. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode, and please subscribe. If you'd like to see more videos like this, turn on the notification bell so that you're informed next time that we post a video. Also, we'd love to see your comments in the comment section below. Tell us what you'd like to see on the next episode. What do you want us to share? Because we also want to share with you some tips, some hacks, not always in the kitchen, even around the household. What recipes do you want to see? Kindly let us know in the comment section. Also, if you have tried this carrot cake, let us know in the comment section. How was the outcome? What did your family members say about the carrot cake? Do they now believe that you're a pro in baking? Because believe you me, if you follow us, we're going to make you a pro. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.